Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Choma of Choma Stitches, and today we're going to be sewing this V-shaped bell sleeve that is trending. I'm going to be making it with an African print, that's an Ankara. That's the picture you see up on this video, and if that's something you are interested in learning, please keep watching. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. First, we're going to be drafting the basic sleeve, and then we can alter our basic sleeve to a bell sleeve. The full length of the sleeve we're going to be working with is 23 inches. So I'm going to mark out 23 inches. Next, we're going to backing out the box of the sleeve we are going to be working with. To get the box of the sleeve we're going to be working with, where we'll be drafting our basic sleeve, we're going to be dividing the bust measurement by 6 and adding 1.5 inches to it. So bust 35 divided by 6 will give us 5.833 plus 1.5 is going to give us 7.3. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out 7.3 like so, and I'll roll it to the end. Now we're going to be creating the armhole box, and to get that you divide your bust measurement by 12, and for 35 inches divided by 12 you get 2.9, but I'm going to be working with 3 inches approximately. And now I'm going to be marking out a slanted line away from this end to the other end of this marking, and I'm going to find the center of this marking. So what I have here is 8 inches, so the center obviously is here. And so I'm going to go up here by 0.25 and come down by 0.25. You can take your tape and measure this to be sure you are marking it out right. Now, to indicate what part of the pattern is going to be for the front part of the sleeve and the part that's going to be the back part of the sleeve, I'm going to be using two different markers to distinguish it. So for the upper part of the sleeve, that is going to be the back part of the sleeve, I'm going to be using my blue marker, and I'm going to connect this line to the top of the marking, and then I'm going to come here and I'll bring it down to this end. And then for the front part of the sleeve, I'm going to be using my red marker, and I'm going to be marking it from the 0.25 I marked under. So I'm going to connect it as well to the end of the sleeve, like so. And then I'm going to mark it down to the end of the sleeve this way. So right now we have this place to be the front part of the sleeve, and this side is going to be the back part of the sleeve. I hope that is clear. So from here I am going to go ahead and input my measurement. Now first I can mark out my shoulder to my elbow measurement, which is 12 inches. I can also indicate the shoulder to my bicep. I'm using 7 inches, and you can also come here and mark out maybe an 8 inches. Now these markings I'm making is for if you want to draft a basic sleeve. Okay, like I said, we're going to draft a basic sleeve, and then we're going to alter it to get our bell sleeve. Now if this was going to be a basic sleeve, like I said, now you're going to be inputting all your measurements: your elbow divided by 2, your bicep divided by 2, and your cuff area divided by 2. That's where you input it. But what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to come down here and mark 6 inches. Like I said, what we are drafting is a bell sleeve, and from this 6 inches I'm just going to connect it all the way to the armhole. Now this is the sleeve I'm working with. Okay, I can go ahead and cut out this, but before I cut it out, I'm going to be dividing this pattern into 3, and I'm going to divide this into 3 so that I can do the slash and spread method for our bell sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to measure what I have here. This is 6, so I'm going to divide it into 3. I have 2 and 2, so I'm dividing it into 2 on each side. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll this line straight all the way. Now as you can see, I roll this to the back part of the sleeve. Okay, I roll it to the back part of the sleeve. Because the sleeve is not going to be fitted, you may not need to differentiate which part of it will be front or back. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pattern so that we can do our slash and spread. So I'm going to be cutting here open, but I'm going to cut it on top of the fabric we're going to be using. So let me bring out the print we're going to be using for this. Now whenever you want to make a flare, cutting a flare can consume a lot of fabric. So if you want to manage your fabric, this is one method you can use. I'm just going to be holding as one selvage of the dress, one end of the fabric, from this end, I'm just going to be holding it on this side, and I'm going to pull it all the way to match the selvage on this side. Now this method is going to help me manage my fabric, and I won't be using as many fabric as I would have been using if I don't use this method. Okay, so now that I've folded it this way, I can go ahead and refold it again like so, matching here to this end. So this is it. So what I'm going to do now is bring my sleeve and place it here like so, and then we are going to start cutting and spreading it. So I'm going to cut it open on the 2 lines I have made in the center. Now I've pinned down the first one. I am just going to open up this one. You can open this as wide as your fabric can take. So this is it. So at this point, my bell sleeve, if you want your bell sleeve to be, if you want the sleeve to be equal from one end to the other, this is where you come and you connect this like so to give you an equal marking. Okay, so that the sleeve will be equal. But I want this place to be more pointy. I want here to be obviously pointier, like more obvious that it is longer than this side. Okay, and so for that, what I'm going to do is mark out my allowance. So from here, the allowance I have is about 1 inch. I'm going to come here and mark out 1 inch. Now this is to guide me so that the pattern will still be straight. Now I'm going to connect this sewing allowance first, and then I'm going to roll it straight to wherever the fabric ends. And then from there, I am going to start curving it like so to come and meet here. You can use your straight ruler all the way down. And this is it. So when I cut out this now, this place is going to be obviously longer than here. Okay, so you can use more fabric, as much fabric as you can use that you want to achieve the same purpose. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the pattern I need. Also, don't forget to add your ½ inch allowance at the edge here, where you're going to be joining this sleeve to the dress that we're joining it to. And this is the sleeve. So I have to cut out the lining piece as well for the sleeve. Okay, so but I made the lining piece to be like ½ inch shorter than the main fabric. I'm going to be sewing the down part with the lining. I'm going to go ahead and sew the lining, and then I'll turn it out and sew the body. And here I've sewn it. I've sewn the sleeve. So this is what I am trying to do. Sew it to keep it clean like so. So you can iron it out. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold it like so and sew it from the lining piece or from the main fabric, whichever. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it like so. Sew it like this to reveal a clean sleeve, like I have done for this one. Look at this. So I've gone ahead to sew the sides. So you sew with ½ inch here, and then when you get close to the sleeve, to the armhole, you can use your 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is turn it inside out. So I'm going to turn it like so. This is it. So this is the sleeve opening from here for the armhole, and this is the end of the sleeve, like so. Look at this. You can go ahead and iron this, and this is our sleeve. Now when you open it inside out, you will see that it's clean both from the inside and the outside. This place is clean, and so when you wear the dress, this place that is going to be extended will not be showing rough sewing or any kind of allowance. Okay, and so guys, don't forget to check back for the full sewing tutorial of the full gown. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the gown. So don't forget to come back for the sewing tutorial on how we made the gown and the pleated slit, and of course the bustier and everything. See you guys in my next sewing tutorial. Bye bye.